Hi, my name's Fraser Christian from the Coastal Survival School. Just want to do a quick review on this tarp I've been kindly sent by Lomo. Details of their website will be up and credits at the end of the video. It's a 3x3 metre tarp, it says so on the bag, exactly what I ordered. There's loads of 3x3 metre tarps on the market. This one particularly caught my eye, not just for the price but also the weight. It's 800 grams. It's really competitively priced, and I obviously just want to put it through its paces, get it out and give it a go. I'm not going to get this out the first time I go on an expedition or really need to use it. You'd be wise for any kit that you first get to unpack it and go for it before you ever really need to use it in the field, so to speak. So it's a lovely day up in the woods today, hardly any wind. Hopefully the microphone picked the sound up. I'm just going to run straight on with it and just put it up in the classic kind of ridge sense, just to open it up, get it to hang freely and just give it a good once over. So here goes. Nice stuff sack, tarps in there, it's got some extras in the bottom now I can feel. Comes with another little kit bag inside of there. What feels like some pegs. There's one more in there, so there's 4 pegs and some guy lines with adjuster stops on to put the pegs back in the bag. See how many guy lines we got in there. Plenty ends of the stops. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's enough there for each corner. I brought some extra cord with me. Just some fairly thin but adequately strong kite string or braided nylon cord. I suppose it's about £100 breaking string or something. What I'll do is I'll use this for the initial setup, and then once I know what ropes are required and what lines are required for this to use in various setups, because I'll also be doing a follow-up video down on the beach, using it on the beach, which is a slightly different environment. Obviously we've got no trees and what have you to tie to, so that'll be another video coming up, so keep your eyes out for that one. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cord first of all. Once I'm happy with knowing the lengths of the cord, I can then upgrade this once I've got the sort of length as a guide to possibly some stronger cord if needed. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is set up a ridge or a guy line. And on this, in the instructions or the details, it said it had a set of runners down the centre for a ridge line, so hopefully without dragging it all over the ground, we should be able to find the 2 corners and then the ridge. And there we go, that's that one ridge. We follow that along, yeah, there's a line of ridge hangers there. They go in both directions. Yeah, they do. That's really good. So it's got one ridge runner in the middle and 2 on each side. Now you just run one way. So there's the ridge runners there. They run down the centre there. So let's get the ridge threaded up. So what we'll do is we'll take off, we know it's 3 metres, so we'll take off about 3 metres of cord to begin with. And then just run it straight down the ridge. There's obviously lots of different ways you can set this up. If you've got 2 poles or 2 trees to tie between, simple ridge, 45 degrees, probably no less. It's a simple and effective way. What I like to do is keep the edges, or the height, off the ground, so one of the edges can always be closed down, so if you need to shut one side down for the wind, so it's quite versatile. So all we've got to do is run the cords obviously up through the ridge hangers. What I may do is add some speed clips to this in the future, just to make this all a lot quicker. Hopefully I've got the ridge there. So I'm going to tie up just next to the camera there, and down onto this other tree over here. Excuse me. Need a little bit more cord out there. It's always difficult to know how much ridgeline you're going to need. If your tarp's 3 metres, I'd probably say 9 metres. Give yourself 3 metres either side in case there's nothing so close to you. So I go for a height first of all that I can just stand up underneath, and then we'll see if that comes down close to the side. We can always lower it down if need be. One thing I would say is whenever you're putting your tarp up is always use slip knots to secure to when you're first setting up, so you get it absolutely how you want it. Then you can secure those knots if need be. Also it helps when you come to pack down if you've got slip knots, okay? So find a nice rigid branch. I'm going to take my weight. I'll just do a simple slip knot. That one was very good, the first one. Pulled up tight now. I just need to pull the end to slip that one out. So you come right over towards the camera now. Right, cut off there. This is why it's an advantage to use some smaller cord just to begin with, just to get your lengths right. Saves you wasting your more expensive cord. Again, at about head height. I know you can't quite see that. Again, just going to put a small slip knot on there. Again, you can always adjust. Right. Let's just get it out and see how it hangs, and then what I'll do is I'll pull the tension up on that line, make sure we got it right. See that the wind's blowing that way, and what you want to do is when you're setting your tarps up, always work with the wind on your back, so the tarp's going away from you. Always work with the weather rather than have it all blowing in your face, okay? And if you're going to secure to the ground, we'll start with this side first of all, and we'll work away obviously, alright? So, standard PU coated nylon, nice reinforcers on all the fixing points there. All the stitching looks really good. Very similar to another tarp that's on the market that you'll probably all be familiar with. Nice double seam seams, taped as well. It's a really good sign. So let's stretch it out anyway. So we want a few more bits of cord, just to secure it on each end. Got both of those to begin with. Just going to use temporary knots on these for now. Just a couple of rain turns and just leave them loose. We'll start about there, I think. I know all you tarp fanatics are probably watching me doing this, saying why aren't you using this knot, why aren't you using that knot, but like I say, it's just a temporary setup, just to have a look at the kit. It's also no spring chicken anymore. I want to keep things as light as possible, so there you go, that's just off the ground. We're always trying to use the lightest cord we can and as fewer clips as possible. The only thing with this nylon cord, it does offer no friction. I generally for the final call for the setup, or for this kit, I use a softer braided nylon that takes a bite. It's a lot easier to work with. So anyway, it's working like a kite there, allowing me to easily look at it. I don't want to drag it through the mud if possible. Give everything a good once over, make sure the stitching's finished properly. All nicely reinforced. Plenty of fixing points down each side. One on the corner, one in the middle, one on the quarters. There you go, I've missed one of the hanging points there. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, so yeah, it's on the quarters. So overall first impressions, looks really good. Standard 3 metre tarp, like I say, really competitive price. This is part of their new bushcraft range of kit at Lomo. Hopefully I'll be reviewing some more of the kit soon. They've got plenty of stuff that's really good for us on the coast, especially all the dry bags and the wet kit that they do. It's where I get all my whistles and my survival blankets already from, so good to see that they're starting to do a bigger range of kit. Anyway, stay tuned, and next one will be setting this up on the beach. Thanks very much for watching.